Good morning, students. A warm welcome to your first class of 11 Science. And since you're all students of Sir J.J. English School, I think there is no need of any self-introduction of mine, because you all know me very well, and I know most of you. Actually, we are supposed to start with a live classroom teaching, that is with the students and me, the teacher, in our classroom, and there is the live interaction. But unfortunately, due to this pandemic COVID-19, I think you know COVID-19, coronavirus disease. 19 means it was detected in the year 2019. Okay, and because of this pandemic COVID-19, we know that our country is undergoing a lockdown for the last 70 days. It affected the normal life of our people, and of course the education system, especially the educational institutions. And for the time being, we are enforced to continue with the online classes, and we hope that this situation will come to normalcy at the earliest, and we can meet in our favorite classrooms, and you will be happy with your friends, and I will be happy with you lively in my class, so that I can easily enjoy your curiosity to learn, your charismatic presence in the classrooms, and of course the lively personal interaction helps you to learn very effectively. So till then, we have to continue with these online classes, and you all know that till 10th standard, mathematics was a compulsory subject. But now when you come to 11th standard, you have the option between mathematics and biology. And those students who are willing to learn both can go for both the subjects. But usually it is a tendency that the students usually opt for only one out of mathematics and biology. Okay, so I think actually I wanted to say a bit introduction, but now it is not necessary, because Priya teacher already explained very well about two things: why you have to opt our school, that is Sir J.J. English School, the institution that gave you the platform to flourish, to develop for the last 12 years, that is the junior KG, senior KG, and first standard to 10th standard. So, as a loyal student of Sir J.J. English School, it is your moral duty to the institution that you continue your last 2 years of schooling, that is 11th and 12th standard in the same institution. So she explained why Sir JG for 11th and 12th and why science stream. Okay, and I do want to say something about all these things, but I think that we can do in the classroom when we meet lively after the situation comes back to normalcy. That too, for all the students, means irrespective of whether you are a mathematics student or a biology student. Okay, so now we just want to continue with my role as a mathematics teacher. And actually this I have a YouTube channel that is Optima Domain. The name of the YouTube channel is Optima Domain. Actually, in this channel I will be uploading all these videos. So when and where, and I will be sending the link in the WhatsApp group. And actually, you know that at present we have two groups, that is 11 Science Boys and 11 Science Girls. And if you come to 11 Science Boys, there are both the students opting for mathematics and biology. And in girls group also there are students who opted for maths or biology. So, but the videos of maths and biology are uploaded. The videos or the study materials or the lectures are uploaded in the group commonly. So the mathematics students go for the mathematics video and the biology students go for the biology video, and thereafter continue with the learning process. But at the same time, I would like to say that you can share these videos with your friends in the other schools, or in one or the other way they are known to you, so that they can also make use of these videos, whether they are the students of our school or some other school, it doesn't matter. We are sharing knowledge, and we know that knowledge is such an asset. It grows, it becomes abundant or ample as much we share it with others. So I request you to share these videos or the video link with your friends of other schools. Okay, so anyhow, as we mentioned, we come to the formal study of 11th standard mathematics. Okay, and we start with the first chapter itself, that is sets. So we have to make out. So I think the concept set is quite new for you. And first of all, we discuss about a few concepts or the theory related to set. And at the same time, I would like to remind you that our education system is based on the performance in the examination. So it's quite necessary to score as much maximum marks in the examination. So when we approach into the examination point of view, unlike from the 10th standard mathematics, because in the 10th standard mathematics you are having the theory questions, especially state and prove some theorems, etc. But in 11th and 12th standard mathematics, there are no theory questions. So there is no question of definition, there is no question of derivation. The questions are mainly problems or the sums to solve. But for solving these problems, it is necessary to understand the concept. And for understanding the concept, we need the basic knowledge of the concept. And for the same, these theories are required. So there is no need to by heart and so on in the examination point of view, but at the same time, it is necessary to understand the theoretical aspects. Okay? So we come to set. So when we come to a set, we just discuss the definition of a set. So the term set, though it is not in the mathematical way, we are very much clear with it. Otherwise we know the meaning. So whenever we say as a set, or whenever we consider a set, we just think of a group. Okay? And a group means what? A collection. So what to remember? A set is a collection. Okay? Now, we ask to us, it's a collection of what? Since it is a collection, it is a collection of what? So what we say is a collection of objects. What is it? Collection of objects. Then the question arising is, which type of objects? The meaning is, do we consider any type of object here? Then the answer is no. We don't consider any type of object. We consider only well defined. So what we said? We consider only well-defined objects. So what is set? A set is a collection of well-defined objects. Okay? Now, the question arising is, actually we know the meaning of what is well-defined. Okay? And when we come here, what is the mathematical aspect or the mathematical meaning of this well-defined or the well definition? So, well-defined objects means that objects are invariant with respect to time and invariant with respect to place, invariant with respect to person, and so on. So invariant means what? It doesn't change. The meaning is, whether we consider these objects today, tomorrow, or yesterday, after some days, before some days, the objects will remain same. The objects do not change with place. The meaning is, whether these objects are considered by a person in India, America, or anywhere in the world, these objects will remain same. Now, these objects are invariant with respect to person. The meaning is what? Well, these objects are considered by me or somebody else or any one of you. In all the situations, the objects will remain same. Okay, such objects are known as well-defined objects. Okay, so what we said, a set is a collection of well-defined objects. Okay, and these objects are known as the elements of the set. Okay, these elements are also known as the entries of the set. Okay, now we come to an example. Okay, and here the objects means any type of object, but for convenience I'll make it very clear. Okay, we just come to the objects as numbers. Okay, suppose we consider the collection of prime numbers. Okay, prime numbers, okay, suppose less than 15. What we consider? The collection of prime numbers less than 15. Okay, so which are the prime numbers? We know that what 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, etc. But here we set a restriction. What? Prime numbers less than 15. So the meaning is very clear. It starts with the 2 and ends at 13. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 is the collection of prime numbers less than 13. Look, so here, which are the objects? The prime numbers less than 13. So it is very clear. When we find out the prime numbers less than 15, today or after 2-3 months, or they were found out 2-3 months back, they all remain same. They are which one? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Now, if these prime numbers are obtained by a person in India or in America or in Russia, the prime numbers are going to be same. What does it mean? These objects are well defined, so this collection is a set. Okay, and we know that for representing most of the concepts in mathematics, there are respective symbols. For example, when you come to geometry, okay, there is a you studied there. This is the symbol for segment AB. This is the symbol for ray AB. This is the symbol for line AB. This is the symbol for triangle. That way, most of the symbols in mathematics are having convenient symbols to represent them. Okay, so in the same manner, for representing a set, we use a symbol. That symbol is this curly bracket. It's a bracket, but we call it as what? The curved bracket. So we can call it as the curly bracket. Okay, it is curly. Okay. So for representing a set, we use this symbol. Otherwise, this curly bracket in set theory represents the symbol of a set. So in our example, we have considered the collection of prime numbers less than 13, and this is the collection of objects, and this collection we enclose inside this curly bracket symbol. Okay, and then we read it as set 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. So we read it set 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Whereas what? This is the set of prime numbers less than 50. Clear? Okay, and thereafter we come to which one? The naming of set. For example, in geometry, you saw that points are represented by capital alphabets. For example, for representing a point, we take capital letter P with capital letter A. That is why, suppose there is a line segment has two endpoints. We consider the two endpoints, or we name the two endpoints by the capital alphabets A and B. That is why we came across which one? The segment AB. In the same manner, when it comes to the naming of sets, we make use of which one? The capital alphabets. Okay? So this set, suppose we name by capital A. So what is capital A? That is simply A. It is the name of the set. And what is actually the set here? The set of prime numbers less than 15. Otherwise, that is equal to set 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Clear? So, this way we come to the definition or the introduction of set. So, we said a set is a collection of well-defined objects. Set can be represented by the symbol, the curly bracket, and sets are named by capital alphabets. Okay, now we come to the representation of sets. We come to representation of sets. Okay, see, a set can be represented in two ways. Otherwise, what? There are two different methods or two different ways for representing a set. The first method is known as roster method. Okay, what is the first one? Roster method of representing a set. Okay, and the second one is known as set. Okay, set builder form. Set builder method. Okay, and actually this roster method is also known as list method. What we said? The other name of roster method is list method, and set builder method or set builder form. Okay, it is also known as the property form. Property method. Okay, it is also known as the rule method. Okay, so what we said? How to represent a set. Okay, and we said there are two ways for representing a set, namely the roster method and the set builder method. Okay, now we come to what is meant by the roster method or the list, which one? The list method. And for discussing that particular method, we consider the same example. What? A equal to set 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Otherwise, A is the set of all prime numbers less than 15. Okay, so remember, in the roster method, otherwise in the list method, what we do is we exhibit or we simply write all the elements of the set. The meaning is what? We write the elements of the set one by one. I got more thing to remember. When we write the elements inside the set symbols, the elements are separated by a comma. That is compulsory. Okay, so anyhow, in roster method, what we do? We write the set by writing the elements one by one. So the meaning what? The elements are exhibited or the elements are listed one by one. Since the elements are listed, okay, this method is known as what? The list method. Okay, and what is the other name? Roster. Okay, the simple meaning of roster means what? Register, book. Okay, and usually we use a book or register for what? For listing out the items, for listing out or for writing the items or the objects one by one. So here in this method, the elements are listed or written one by one, like we are listing the objects inside a register. So this method is known as what? Roster method. Okay, so this stands for which one? The roster method. Okay, now we come to the second method, that is a set builder method or the property method. Actually, that is going to be a convenient method. Look, for example, we have written here only the prime numbers less than 15. So we have written only 6 prime numbers. But instead of that, suppose we have to write the prime numbers less than 1000. Then we have to go for a long list. Okay, the meaning is 30, then 17, 19, 23, 29, etc. Okay, and we know that practically writing that many elements is a matter of difficulty. So, the mathematicians, actually the set concept, actually I have forgotten to say that in the very beginning, I think, okay, it was introduced by the German mathematician John Cantor. Okay, the set theory or the concept of set was introduced by the German mathematician John Cantor. Okay, then of course, suppose the detailed analysis was done by Cantor. After discussing or after introducing the roster method of writing a set, he just realized that practically this method is a bit difficult. He thought of simplifying this method, or he thought of an alternative method that is much simpler than the roster method. And the search for a simpler method, okay, led to the introduction of set builder form or the property method. Okay, so in set builder or the property, how the name of the set is A equal to set. Okay, and in the property form, what we do is, okay, we consider an element of this set simply by the letter or alphabet X. Okay, set X. Okay, this prom symbol means such that. Set X says that, what is X here? X is a prime number. Here X is what? a prime number. Okay, does x any prime number? No. Condition is there. X is a prime number. What is the condition? Less than how much? 50. Okay, so look at here. Instead of writing the 6 elements one by one, we have written a single element x. But actually here x stands for what? Any element of this set. Otherwise what? X takes the elements of A one by one. So what is x here? X is a prime number less than 50. Okay, and this second method is nothing but which one? Our set builder form. Okay, so in the roster method, we set the reason why this particular method is known as the roster method or the list method. In the same manner, okay, we can easily make it out. Why it is known as set builder? Look, according to this method, an element is written, and by using the elements or by using the peculiarity or the speciality of this element, it is possible to write the elements of the set one by one. So the meaning is, by using this condition and the element, it is possible to build the set. Writing the set means building the set. Okay, otherwise what? This method, or by using this method, it is possible to build the set. So it is known as set builder form. Okay, property form. Why it is known as a property form? Because in this method, we are making use of a common property of the elements of A. Otherwise, it is possible to write or possible to identify all the elements of the set by a particular property. What is the property here? The element is a prime number less than 15. It is also known as a rule method. It's very clear, just like property. Rule method. The meaning is what? This method is based on a particular rule, and that rule is applied for the elements of A. And what is that rule? The rule is these elements are nothing but the prime numbers less than 15. So clear why this method is known as a set builder method, property method, or the rule method. Okay. So we discuss one more example. Okay, in that example we consider B. Suppose B is equal to the set of vowels of English alphabets. Okay, we consider, actually we know we have the 26 alphabets of English. Okay, the 26 alphabets are classified into two categories, namely what? The vowels and the consonants. Okay, we have the vowels. How many are there? There are 5 vowels, and the remaining 21 are consonants. We have 21 consonants. Okay, so anyhow, first we write the set B according to the roster method. In roster method, what we have to do? We have to list or we have to write the elements of the set one by one. So which are the elements here? The vowels of English alphabets. We know that the first vowel is E, second is E, I, O, U. Okay, so this is the roster form. Okay, now the same set can be written as B equal to set of 4x such that, okay, x is a vowel of English alphabets. Okay, so set of 4x such that x is a vowel of English alphabet. So this is which one? The set. This method is the set builder. Okay, so this way we come to the representation of a set. So we said a set can be represented in two ways, namely which one? The roster method. The other name of roster method is the list method.